and has been for the last.
Asked you 4 or 5 times. Are you sure you want to stream this? We've seen it. You sure you want to stream it? Right. Oh no!
I ain't getting that.
No! Sorry, audio listeners. I need to close the tripod. Alright, okay. I know we're technically streaming. We're going to have to do a level check.
Oh, for God's sake.
Right.
Check 1, 2.
Middlemeister, speak.
Hello.
Audio.
Saying words.
I look fine from here.
Audio reasons.
Hey. Anyway, so we're streaming.
What the fuck? Right, okay, apparently the thing has spazzed and said that we're doing Splatoon again. No, we are not doing Splatoon. This is the... this is totally not Splatoon.
Oh dear. Hi, welcome to TheSuffolkRam.
I am Middlemeister.
Skazz.
Welcome to episode 64 of the Round Nerds podcast.
Not Splatoon.
Not Splatoon. No, we're not Splatoon. For some reason we are, but we're not. So welcome to this well-organised podcast for a change. And I think you'll find we are on time.
Yeah,
well, bar 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you are. See, people who doubted us, we're here. And the stream is bad now, according to YouTube. It's very bad. So...
Oh well, I don't give a shit.
Fair enough. So, tough of you joining us. So, let's kick ourselves off with games we've been playing. So, working around the room, Middlemeister.
Mine's Resident Evil 7. Don't know if you've done it already or not, but...
I don't think we have. Bar did a Resident Evil game, but that wasn't 7, was it?
No, it was crap.
Yeah.
Just throwing that there. Not 4, since we're doing audio as well. If the stream completely blows chunks... have to do.
Oh, yeah.
Would you say it's a worthy reboot to the series?
I think so, yeah, because they've taken it much way back. I know it's first person, like the first time ever, proper one, but it's much more about survival horror. Like completely, purely survival horror. You don't even, you have like a gun, but it's not much good against invincible foes. So it's not enough like sort of 5 and 6. It's just got more and more silly and action packed. So despite the perspective shift, it is much more like 1 and 2, 3, 4. Like I love Resident Evil 4. They obviously changed forever, like the Resident Evil franchise, and they've sort of. I guess they've tried again by going first person. They've tried to reboot it again, but it does have more of the roots of the old games in there. Apparently, the further you get, there's a few links to the old Resident Evil as well.
Is there any sort of sign of like Umbrella or Wesker in there mentioned at all? T-Virus mentioned?
There's nothing about any of that yet, but apparently that does come as
part
part of it later on. Yeah, there'll at least be substantial Easter eggs or something in there.
Yeah, but is it? But yeah, so you mean the links there will be more for, as you say, as an Easter egg, not as an actual. It's part of the storyline.
I think so. Yeah, I think apparently. There might be one major character that makes some kind of appearance later on.
So this question, do you think, like Silent Hill For the Room, this game was always meant to be a Resident Evil game, or do you think they just rebranded as Resident Evil?
I don't think I ever heard that it was anything other than a Resident Evil game.
Because Silent Hill For the Room was never meant to be a Silent Hill game.
No, I know that does happen occasionally, but I think that was always planned to be one. Early on it felt like a tech demo, didn't it, with VR? Like they had the VR demo called The Kitchen, and a couple of other ones that were really geared towards VR. But I think that always was intended to be one, but it is very different.
Cool. Because
of the first person, but that does still have survival horror, so it feels more Resident Evil despite that than,
awesome.
4 and 5 and 6. But
okay.
Yeah, highly recommended. It's
good.
Fairly cheap as well at the minute on Amazon. Picked up for 30 quid, which isn't too bad for a console game.
I don't know if it's on Steam or not. I think it is.
Yeah, it's
probably, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Skazz, you been up to anything this month?
Not a damn thing, son.
Good. Excellent. The reason I asked you that is I forgot to look at the show notes before we started and make notes of who's doing what. So I've been playing this month. I got hold of Prey, which is a funny series. It's got a funny history to it. The original Prey came out in the early 2000s, I think. Was that 2004, 2005?
Yeah.
And you played as a Native American Indian on a reservation, and aliens appear and abduct all your people, and you have to sort of escape from the spaceship. And at the time, a lot of people sort of considered it it was one of those games that was like, this is quite a groundbreaking game, it's really different, but no one bought it.
I like that. Quite like that.
Yeah, no one bought it. That then disappeared as told a sequel, and then a few years later they announced a sequel, like 5 years later, they announced a sequel. It's going to be set, you're going to be a bounty hunter on an alien planet.
I love to look at that game so much.
Yeah, it was good. You're going to be
So
back,
good.
and you'd have like a pair of goggles. You'd go around and you might find an alien that's got a bounty, and you have to either give chase or arrest them or something.
That looked amazing. That
Yeah,
game.
and that was linked to the first game because there's like you were an ex, like flight marshal. What are they called? Air marshals. People who go on the planes with the guns to kill the terrorists.
Yeah,
Air
Marshal,
You're one of those, and your plane gets abducted in the first game, and that's how you end up in this alien civilization. You got abducted, and you go around, and then that disappeared.
Still won that game.
Yeah, I would love that game. I thought that so awesome.
Yeah.
I was reading about it in the PC, and I thought this looks awesome. I was like, it's coming out in 6 months, awesome, and then never appeared. And now it's been completely rebooted as Prey. So not Prey 2, just Prey. And you play this character called Morgan, either male or female Morgan. And
What did you go for? I went for female.
I went for male. You wake up on... I don't think he talks for the entire game, apart from a few bits, so I thought, it doesn't make much difference, so I just went for male. And the game starts, you wake up in your apartment, you've been told, or you're going to be in this international sort of space, you're going up into space, you need to go through this sort of psychological testing, and you go through your testing, and it's all going well, and you sort of have a little flights and everything. And when you're having the testing, at one moment, one of the guys goes, "Oh, someone get me a coffee." And you're in the last room, the guy's got a cup of coffee in his hand. I said, "This cup's empty." And all of a sudden, this cup just transforms this strange thing, like a four-legged spider thing, and just starts attacking everybody, and you get knocked unconscious.
That all goes a bit Half-Life.
It does go a bit Half-Life, yes. And you wake up again in the same room. It feels like a bit like Paul's actually. You wake up in the room again.
Yeah, your apartment, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you realise actually throughout the whole part, eventually you have to sort of try and work out how to get out, and eventually you realise that you can break the window. And you break the window, you end up in this like sound stage. This whole apartment's actually a simulation, and everything was simulated before. That's all the opening start of the game. And you're on this space station called Talos, and something bad's happened. This alien threat's got out, and your job is to basically try and stop it. It's made by people made Dishonored, Arcane, and you can tell that when you play it. Talos is just this big, open, not quite, but it's a bit gated at the start, but it's this big open space you can just explore at your leisure.
It's like a hub, isn't it?
Yeah, you basically start in one section of the space station. You go to this, you eventually get yourself to like the foyer or sector areas, and it's got links to all the other sections, and you can just explore as you go around. You have to sort of unlock, and there's story progression to unlock the sections as you go. But what makes it definitely not Dishonored is that it's a game that basically rewards exploration. So you could play through the game very quickly. You could actually, if you like Dishonored, Dishonored, you could play that game in about 4 hours. But that's all ruins the point. Because the whole point is you explore the hub areas and you look around nooks and crannies, you find backstories and side missions, and you explore, and you treat it like a fine wine. You sort of savour it and slowly sip it and drink it. And that's the game how it's like. You have to sort of, you could rush through it if you want to, but I've been taking my time over it. And I'm about 12 hours in, and I think I'm only on the third mission of the game. Because I'm just taking my time over the whole film, just exploring, and it's got all these things like you can hack things, and you have a bit like you have like sort of these things called neuromods, which a bit like your Dishonored powers. They allow you to unlock new abilities, and that increase your hacking skill, increase your repair skill. Later on, you get access to alien powers.
Very painful, though, the way they're used.
Yes, yeah, it is. And the thing about the neuromods is what they sort of establish in the game is once you have one put in, if they remove it, you forget everything because it's sort of actually interfaces to your brain. When they remove it, anything that you remembered after that bit gets deleted because it's sort of like linked hard to your brain. So if you have a neuromod installed, then 2 years later you have it removed, you'll forget the last 2 years, which is a bit freaky.
Yeah.
But you have these, and you can actually, and like nearly all sort of these sort of style, a bit like in Bioshock, the first time you inject yourself with a plasmid and you go screaming and jumping through a balcony, and then the next time you have to do it, it's like, oh, I'm upgraded now. There we go. It's fine now. I can handle now. Yeah, the first time you see this thing, he literally stabs into his eye.
Yeah.
So
goes through the eyeball.
Yeah, it's a bit. That was a bit squeamish. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the fact that I can just sort of. I am just literally taking my time over it, just exploring it. Every time I go to a new area, there's things to do. You've got apart from your side missions, like there's the Kapur terminals that have a list of all the crew on the whole space station and where they're located, and you can like track them down and you'll find newer mods on them, and some of them will show as still being alive, and then you may find actual fact they've now been turned to some sort of alien creature, which is quite creepy. And the aliens quite. I mentioned the mimics, which are the ones that they are quite clever because they basically will, if they see you, they'll run away out of your sight and they'll transform into another object that matches something else in the scene. Yeah. So you'll go into an office and there'll be chairs over, and one of those chairs will be a mimic.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is. Or they'll change into a coffee cup, or it's quite clever. And they can actually move to sneak up on you. So I went into this room and I'm sort of thinking, where's it gone? I just see this coffee cup drop towards me. It's like, oh, there it is. Do you know what I really thought of, though? I really thought of Red Dwarf the polymorph. Yeah. Yeah. Where it just like changed to it's exactly like that. It's like, that's great. It's the warp! Oh, no, it's not. It's that box. And there's like, there's robots in it all corrupted as well.
It's not scary, though, is it? The game. I didn't find it scary.
I find it creepy. I wouldn't say scary, but to be honest, it's not. That sort of horror doesn't really get to me.
No.
The sort of horror. The only horror it gets to me is where I feel very underpowered. So things like Soma or any of the Amnesia series, Alien Isolation we mentioned earlier, that gets to me.
Yeah.
But most horror games don't bother me. So likes of your Resident Evil, I don't bother me. I wouldn't be scared by it. I'd be very surprised if I was, because I just feel like, oh God, I can avoid this. I'd be scared by it, if I'm honest. In fact, I've played all Resident Evil I've never been scared at any of them.
This is scarier than any Resident Evil. I've never really, same here, but this is scarier than any previous Resident Evil.
But a lot of horror games don't get me, unless the exception to the rule is anything based on spiders, because I'm arachnophobic.
Condemned totally freaked me out.
Yeah, I've got Condemned, I've not played that yet.
It really freaked me out. That was really effective.
Yeah, I mean, Metro's meant to be quite a scary game, but I wasn't bothered until I met the what were they called? They were called not spider mites, but they're basically these big sort of spidery things, and you had to, at one point, and to restore, they didn't like the light. They actually got hurt by the light, but actually you're going down this tram route, and to restore power at your station, you have to go into one of their layers. It's all like covered in cobwebs. You have to work your way through the layer carefully and. Don't jump and ceiling at you. That bloody terrified me.
Yeah,
that bloody terrified me. And there's also a bit in Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, and that's got a whole section set in spider caves. And that fucking freaked me out because I hated that bit. I just went in there and I was just saying fire to everything. Burn them all. And you have to fight this giant spider at the end. And I also had trouble with the spiders in Skyrim as well.
Oh yeah,
I have great trouble.
Creepy.
I have real great trouble with spiders. I have to. Spiders in Skyrim. If I can sort of get a situation where I can shoot it where it can't get to me, it's fine. If I can create a room where it can get to me, that's it. No, open the console up, kill that NPC. I can't deal with it. Apparently, there is a mod that they place all the spiders with bears. But what happens is they don't place any animation, so you just get this bear appalling down from the ceiling when you get to the glass.
Before we forget, one quick diversion. You know when Elder Scrolls Oblivion, you know that vampire thing that you were talking about? You can't, if you change the language to German, she can finish the quest. Yeah, in the PS3 menu, if you change the language to German, it works. Isn't that mad?
Or just reset the questions on the console.
Yeah, but
Yeah. But no, I'm really enjoying Prey. So I wouldn't find. I mean, I will say the Phantoms do creep me out a bit, but I wouldn't find them scary personally.
I couldn't get on with the combat in that. I found it so clunky.
Combat
it's just not good.
It
frustrated me.
Combat, I can see why you get. Yeah, as you get when you initially start, combat is quite clunky. As you get further on and you gradually sort of improve your abilities, it becomes a lot more sensible, and you get better weapons. It gets more easier. So I've got a shotgun now, and that makes dealing with Phantoms a lot easier.
Fair bit of loading as well between each section.
I'm on the PC. I'm on the PC version, so I don't have that problem. It just loads sort of. Ping, I don't have that issue. So I can understand your pain, but I don't feel it. As I've sort of upgraded my abilities and I've got like mods from the suit, because it's just so much you can do. Like you eventually unlock suit mods, and you can store chipsets in your suit that give you new abilities, and you get a this psycho vise, I think it's called, that you fit over basically sits on your head. You see it in like the sort of menu screen he's got it on.
Yeah.
And that allows you to, and you can upgrade that, so you can upgrade so it can scan for mimics, and it'll spot mimics for you.
That seems a bit.
It does sort of ruin the point. It does a bit. It does sort of ruin the point of the mimics, but it also feel. But you have to actively use it. It doesn't do it all. You have to actually scan it manually.
Yeah.
But it also allows you to research monsters. So if you keep a monster locked in the view for a while, you get this little progress bar, and once the progress bar gets round, you'll research them a little bit. You can only do it once per monster. But once you see another monster the same type, you can research that one again. They're called different specimens. And as you gradually get more research, you unlock more Typhon abilities, which allow you to do things like telekinesis and like sort of shoot flames and all sorts. But it's quite clever because the things like the automated defense systems in the game, the turrets and so forth, when you walk up to them, they say no Typhon material, they won't shoot you. But if you upgrade your Typhon abilities too much, they'll turn against you because they think you're an alien.
Yeah.
So you've got to be. There's a bit of risk reward. You can have these abilities, but you've got to be careful about what ones you use. So it's quite. I say it really, if you like Dishonored and it's all and you like sort of horror sci-fi, it's a bit like.
It's by a slightly different studio from them, though, isn't it?
It's arcade. It's arcade, but it's a different team. But you can tell it's definitely got the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Same
the
style.
Look the same. Everything.
Yeah. And Garrett makes an appearance again. Stephen Russell makes an appearance at the very start.
Right.
But no, really, and you can find the audio logs and so forth, and you can listen to them, and you can, and So no, I'm really thoroughly enjoying Prey.
Groovy.
Really, really good series. Really, I'm really enjoying it. I know you didn't get on with it, but
no, it's just my preference wasn't towards it really, but I can understand why people do like it. Still, I can appreciate why there's.
I wanted the combat, and I'm not trying to be sarky or anything here.
No.
One of perhaps the reason the combat was more clunky for you is because I'm using a mouse and keyboard, and mouse you've got that little bit more precision.
Yeah, but
controller.
They're like all other first-person games now. Like I wasn't a fan of the game, but Destiny is so good on the controller. Like the shooting in that game is practically perfect. Like,
but obviously it was designed for. It was designed up, so they basically shooting at full based on it.
And that was console only, wasn't it? Of course, so that was all. Yeah, and that's,
so
the shooting in that is perfect. So
whereas I wonder if perhaps Prey was. I actually wonder if Prey was perhaps some more for the PC market.
Not really, because Arcane, like Dishonored 2, like so it was ported from console. So Arcane, I kind of.
Well, you say that. I'm not entirely convinced of it because it's developed on a PC.
I know, but I saw a conversation about Arcane, and they said, I think Dishonored 2, this is not a port.
Yeah, I'm a bit dubious of when they say because you develop on a PC, you do all develop on a PC. Yes, you may have a console which you then port it across to, but it's not that you do it for the console first, then have to recode it for the PC. You develop it there first. So I'm a little bit.
That's just why I read that they said that they promised fans that Prey wasn't a PC, wasn't a port from the console.
Yeah, that sounds more like fans go. I think there's this group of people who think that particularly there's a certain group of PC gamers who think anything if it's slightly clunky, it must be a console port, and it's like no, it's
apparently it is, but not Dishonored 2, but not Prey.
Dishonored 2 worked fine on PC.
Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't. I'm just saying that they had that to answer to. Obviously, Prey had the.
That just sounds to me appeasing us. That sounds to me of hot air appeasing a certain stupid subgroup of gamers. There are some games that have clearly been designed with the console in mind, then transferred to the PC, and they've not. Well, it's not so much they transfer. They've designed it with the console in mind, and they're not optimized. They're not adjusted it.
Like Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah,
that was a different developer, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was very. And
Dark Souls, one of those was a bit of a train wreck, wasn't it?
Yes, that's
stuff
true.
Like
that was because they had a lot of frame rates and stuff like that in it.
Yeah,
and
the game's hard enough when it's smooth.
That's the sort of things that show up when they've developed it. But again, it's not because they've ported it per se; it's that they've developed it and focused and they've optimized it for one system, but not then unlocked it to work on other systems.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
That's more of an optimization issue than anything else, really. So
the
whole it's a PC hospital. I personally don't put a lot of faith. And there obviously are some exceptions. There are things that this is a console game, then a few months later they decide they're going to make a PC version. Lots clearly it's been fully optimized for console. Then you have to port it. That makes more sense. But these days, with all things being developed multi-platform, it'd be stupid not to. And it'd be stupid not to do it that way. So, but no, it's I've no real trouble with the combat. I've really thoroughly enjoyed it. Cool. So yeah, I do recommend it. Plus, those are cheaper. If you go on CD keys, it's about 27 quid on
price.
release.
I might even rebuy it when it's super cheap console someday.
Yeah, like I say, it's quite slow burning. It does take a while to get into its groove. Like I say, I'm about sort of 8-9 hours. It was about 8 or 9 hours before I even got the psychoscope. That's part because I spent a lot of time looking round.
Yeah, dicking about and everything.
Yeah, basically. But exploring the environments. But yeah. You can make things as well. You can like collect things and
it's very eco-friendly with all this.
Yeah, you recycle everything that gets turned to else. There's an email of there's this weapon called a recycler charge. And if you throw at something, anything nearby gets sucked in and recycled. And the first time I threw, I was too close to it, and I got recycled. And I just had it, and I got an achievement for you reuse good use of resources. There's a bit earlier on where you go to one of the labs. And you find this bit of organic material and there's a note next to it. You read the note, and this scientist says, I put my leg too close to a recycler charge, so now my foot, this organic piece of matter was my foot. Yeah, quite creepy. But yeah, good game. Right, moving on to TV. And I thought me and Skazz have both watched the film recently. So you can put on this. Tom may have been, Middlemeister may have even watched this as well. It's a film called Blame.
No, I know. I've seen it on Netflix, so I didn't know if it would be really terrible or not. No,
it's alright actually. I quite liked it.
Yeah, I didn't know because there's a lot of sort of crappy stuff like that on Netflix.
Yeah,
some of it's brilliant, some of it's not.
Unlike most anime, it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a low blow.
I prefer hentai stuff, really.
Well, I always thought that of you. Whenever I saw you, I thought that was more your fault.
Yeah, thing with octopi.
Yeah. Although it's a bit of debate over the name, isn't it? It's meant to, some people actually think it's actually meant to be spelled Blam.
Yeah.
But there's a mistranslation.
Oh, right.
But I'll let you head this one off, Skazz, as you saw it before you've seen it as well.
Yeah. So basically, we're in a future world where humanity is on the verge of extinction.
Yeah.
We're struggling to get by because we became way too reliant on technology. Shit got real. Technology didn't want us anymore.
Google changed its mind, decided they didn't like humanity.
That's it. And the story takes place, it follows a group of children who leave their village to try and find resources, food.
Yeah,
and
they're not meant to. They weren't sent out. They snuck out.
Yeah, they were trying to be helpful, and shit gets really bad really fast. Robots start attacking. People start getting decapitated. Out of nowhere.
Kids get killed quite quickly, don't they?
Yeah, and then just randomly, this dude in black turns up with a little tiny gun that blasts a hole in everything.
I read in the backstory the gun's got a range of 70 kilometres.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I guess Blame does make more sense, doesn't it, as a title?
Yeah, Blam. Yeah.
So do you want to go into?
So they meet this guy called Killy, and the basic story is it was a city that humans had built, and it was a city of self-sustaining. It could build itself, replicate itself, do its own buildings, but people used to direct it.
Oh, yeah.
Then at some point, you say it's a disease. I missed it. Perhaps I wonder. Now we've established we watched different versions of it. Maybe that was in your version you watched and not the version I watched.
I watched the dub on Netflix and you watched the sub.
Not deliberately.
That it wasn't...
I just clicked play and it came on the subtitled version in Japanese and subtitles. I thought, it's a sub.
I always watch dub when it's animated and sub when it's real. I think that's cool.
Yeah, so we watched different, but I wondered perhaps it wasn't mentioned. I wonder if that wasn't mentioned in the subtitle version.
I might check it out.
Are you quite a quick reader with subs or do you struggle?
I struggle with subs. Mainly, I struggle with because obviously you're listening to them speaking, you're reading the sub.
Yeah.
When you have several characters who have similar voices, I can't tell them apart. So there's a bit of dialogue. It's like who's talking? Is someone talking to who? And who's talking to who?
What the part that the bit that I figured you'd really struggle with is at the start. There are something like 4 or 5 kids,
and there's two girls in particular who really sound the same.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. Even in the dub, it's really tricky. It's like, who the fuck are you talking to? Which
And
one is
because they're wearing
chatting now?
masks.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's
We have to wear
nothing
masks. I'm not sure because they say don't take your mask off. The city will see you. It's storm anyway. So perhaps it. But yeah, so they built this big city, and then something happened.
The idea is that we're supposed to be able to
interface with it.
And
with
then
this net terminal gene, so it's obviously some gene you get an interface with it, and then at some point, humanity lost this gene
because we couldn't then interface with the city.
So
we
we're all
kind of cool,
squatters.
Yep.
And decided to kill everybody. And that's basically a bit of it taking the protocol too far, because you read the backstory. The idea was they're only meant to attack and kill people who tried to access it, who didn't have the net terminal gene. But then it branched out from that to killing everybody who didn't have the net terminal gene.
Oh, wow.
But the city's still building itself.
When will we learn, eh? When will we learn?
Yeah, indeed. So the city's still building itself, but yeah, so you start off with them sort of exploring the city. It's humongous, It's, and the backstory was meant to be like bigger than the planet.
Did they not say there was like several hundred or several thousand levels to it? And
is that a one-off movie? Sorry.
It's based on an old school manga which had a very small micro run of web episodes, like between 3 and 6 minutes long.
Oh, I see.
Then it was supposed to get a film in 2007 until the studio making it went bust, and then all of a sudden this came out of nowhere.
Yeah. This film is based on the manga. It's not actually a direct continuation on, because the characters who appear in the manga appear in this film, but it's
in completely different ways than how they did.
It's almost like a reboot.
Yeah,
right.
In a weird way, it's almost like a reboot.
It kind of worked though.
Yeah, it does.
Is it have a fairly decent budget? Like, is it quite well animated?
Oh, it's beautifully animated.
Yeah, that's good.
It's very stylized animated, but very beautiful.
It reminded me very much of, if anyone has seen it. Oh shit! I forgot what it's called. Appleseed.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen trailers to it and things like that. I know what kind of style.
No, it's really beautifully animated, and the thing I think throws you is that this guy Killy, he's actually the main character from the manga, but you actually think he's a side character
because he's not. He doesn't get much screen time before head starts flying.
He says sod all throughout the whole thing. He says sod all pretty much. But yeah, basically they find him. They find that he then goes back to their village, which for whatever reason the failsafe, that's what they call it. The failsafe can't get in, won't enter the village. And long story short, he finds his other remains of a person who's still alive. Long story, who says they were trying basically they made like an artificial version of the net terminal gene. And the idea was they were going to interface and basically bring the city back under control. And so to go on, I thought it was going to be a whole episode, but then going off on this long quest to get what they needed to do and then get to the place and reset it. Actually, it only takes about 10 minutes of the whole film. It's a really funny old thing. They go off and they basically their goal is to try and retake control of the city.
That's give it a go. Sounds like my sort of thing. Actually,
it is. I'm not a great fan of anime. I've not watched much anime. I've watched. Well, I watched whatever that freaky shitty thing was with you and Barb, which had a baby with fangs in it.
Oh, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That's it, yeah. And that was just, I watched it, that was just like blew my mind. I watched Cowboy Bebop, I didn't like it.
I started watching that, I couldn't get into it.
No, I couldn't either. I got about halfway through the series, I just couldn't watch it anymore.
No,
I liked it at first, but then pretty soon they started characters I just didn't like.
I think the part that killed you was Radical Aid.
Oh yeah, I couldn't watch them after that pretty much. You're absolutely right. I didn't like the girl in it straight away, but she still grew on me after a while. But yeah, Radical Aid really basically stopped me watching it. I couldn't watch it without that point. But yeah, I really struggled with Cowboy Bebop, so this is sort of the first sort of anime, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked the sort of storyline to it, and it makes me want to watch sort of similar things. I will say the film leaves a hell of a lot of stuff in the air. There's so many plot threads left hanging at the end of it.
Yeah,
it's really almost like a taster of the series.
Right.
But I don't know if there's any plans to make a sequel to, or like do an actual anime series, as far as I'm aware.
Depends if it's a hit, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a good film, but it's really
they kind of loaded all of the key plot points into a shotgun, pointed it at your face, and then just fired, and whatever you caught was got it.
Because I missed a hell of a lot of stuff in the sub, missed a lot.
Yeah,
that's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, but I would say definitely give it a watch. I enjoyed it.
If anime's done right, it can be brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
Is that true of most TV series?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of kind of trashy anime.
There's a lot of trashy TV series as well.
All right.
That was pretty. It was. I thought it was a good. It was a good show. I don't want to go into too much of it because you'll spoil it, even though there is loads of stuff just that gets fired out at you. It's on Netflix. Check it out and leave a comment about what you think. I thought it was pretty cool. I'd like to see a full-blown anime of it.
Yes.
It's probably going to be completely worth reading the manga because the story is just fucking out there.
It is weird, isn't it?
It's not like anime. It'd be done out there.
Yeah, it is very. It is really.
Well, because I mean,
bizarre.
in the film they focus on basically one tribe of people, but what you don't get from the film is that there are literally like hundreds of different not literally hundreds of different tribes, but there are different tribes, and these different tribes are like different workers or classes of people who came from the city. So what were they called again in
I thought they were called electro-fishers, but
they are the people who are in the suits who go out to do the scavenging.
like the military of the...
Yeah. I can't remember what the actual tribe is
remember.
called, but they are an offshoot.
I don't remember most of the characters' names, to be honest.
To be honest, but they are basically they are the remnants of like, I don't know, engineers who used to work at a factory. So they weren't actually a tribe, they were just a group of people who, and then over time they became a tribe.
Yeah, right. Sounds like a slight parallels to Horizon, really. The kind of, big machines being built and turning against people and old cities left behind and everything,
It's pretty neat. It's worth a watch. Just don't expect to get a conclusion.
No.
It really doesn't have an ending.
No, it does have an ending.
It has an ending for the group of people you followed at the start.
They actually really are the main characters, and the main character of the manga is actually a secondary character, really.
Yes.
It's really, the main characters are this group of tribes, and they have their end, and what happens to them, and so forth. But I really enjoyed it.
Groovy.
Well, I have the laptop off there. Also, apparently the stream is now working, so apparently the internet isn't shite right now.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice. It's only taken 2/3 of the stream to actually get it to work.
Cool. So we've been on most things, just not YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, no, just apparently our internet has been completely spanked, and it's not been working until literally probably about 5 minutes ago.
Cool.
Oh, right.
So
they have no idea what we've just been talking about.
Nope. So we might have to put up a. Seriously, you might have to take the audio feed and put it into a.
I'll strip out a load of thingy bobs from this thumbnails, and we'll just have loads of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's if it wasn't just one frame for like the last God knows how long. But
Yeah.
The
frame on YouTube is just.
Oh yeah, it was probably with my crotch up against the microphone.
It probably was. Yes, it probably was.
Good old YouTube.
Middlemeister.
Mine's been Banshee, which I watched via Now TV, so it's on Sky box sets. And that
people pay for that?
Yeah.
I can't stand Now TV.
Voted UK's best, streaming service. I like it.
Voted by Now TV.
By Sky executives.
Yeah.
No, but in terms of the TV show Banshee, it's like a pulp show, sort of super violent, but not. It's not comic book violence because it's have you seen The Raid? You've never seen The Raid? Oh man, you would absolutely love that. But no, basically the violence is similar to that, like really, really brutal. But it starts out with a guy who's been in prison for 15 years for a heist. And when he gets out, he goes to look for the girlfriend who he was with at the time. Mm-hmm. He allowed her to escape and he did 15 years for her. And he has a friend who's like really tech savvy and asks him to locate her. And he does quite, this is all of the first episode. So he goes out to find her and she lives in a town called Banshee. And he arrives and he's in a bar with this cool barman who becomes like a big part of the show later on. And he's in there with the sheriff of the town. Mm-hmm. And the sheriff and these like two guys start getting into a bit of a fight, and basically the end result is the sheriff gets killed.
Right.
Gets shot through the hand, gets shot in the head, but he takes
He
like
gets
one of the
made really, really dead.
yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
He kind of hurts the other two guys, but then our main character kills the other two guys, like in a really violent way.
He does a
Great.
really cool impression
Turns
of
on-
Swiss cheese.
Turns arms the wrong way and all that kind of stuff. But then you realise, with his dying words, that the sheriff hasn't seen anyone yet. He says, "God, I can't believe I died my first day in town," kind of thing. Yeah.
Still
Pretty bad luck.
he's still got the trainee badge on.
Yeah, pretty bad. He's been a sheriff a long time, but no one in the town has actually met him yet. They don't know that for sure, but they figure that.
Fisher Price, my first sheriff's badge.
Yeah. So basically, through a bunch of plot, stuff, he ends up becoming the sheriff of the town.
Right.
And his tech-savvy friend, gets him all the paperwork he needs, driver's license, national insurance, all all that kind of stuff. All the things you need to.
Now come here for the induction session.
Library card.
And all the online data that would relate to this guy. And
Have you got your right to work documentation?
Yeah. You get the point.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's got the documentation, and he's got a wife and a kid. This sheriff, but he hasn't seen them for years. They don't, they're not in contact anymore.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
So has this sheriff seen anybody for years? The town haven't seen him for years. His wife and kids haven't seen him for years. Where's he been?
It does become
Lazy
part of it later
bastard.
on, but basically it's one of the best shows I've seen in a long time because it's really, but only if you like ultra violence. But he kind of takes the role of sheriff quite seriously, but he just a really really violent sheriff, like really brutally violent sheriff.
Littering fucking broken jaw backhand someone.
Basically, yeah, he does kind of overreact. There's a lot of at the beginning, you get those warnings where it says like strong violence,
Yeah.
very strong language, scenes of a sexual nature. It gets like even
Like everything just turns up
even
and stuff.
flashing images.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing. Every
Seriously,
episode,
guys, don't watch this film if you seriously. We know it's a strong violence, but seriously, this is really strong violence.
really really strong. If you're squeamish, don't even go near it. But it's very. But it's not like just violence for the sake of it. It is really good fun. 'Cause the town of Banshee is between an Amish community on one side and Native Americans on the other. So there's a lot of chance for confrontation and situations, and the main villain.
I thought the Amish were pretty peaceful.
Yeah, they are, but the main villain used to be an Amish child, and they shunned him when he was older because he committed a great act of violence.
He bought an iPhone.
Oh, no, he didn't buy an iPhone.
In fairness, I'd have fucking shunned the little bastard for that as well.
No, he brutally beat 3 people, one of them almost to death. But similar kind
With
of
an
thing.
iPhone.
I was going to say that, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that up
So
until
they-
you had the iPhone in it.
So they shunned him, but he is an absolutely brilliant villain. Like, amazing. Like, there's one, like, the girl that the guy went to find, her dad is also like the main arching villain in the background of the whole thing.
Right.
But he doesn't know where they are, so he's he's trying to find them. And
He's a bit of a nub then.
yeah, he's even worse in some ways. But there's a lot of fights, car
I'd
chases,
never have
heists.
guessed.
Yeah, lots of.
There's a little bit of
Yeah.
violence in it, It's, there might be a few fights.
Every episode has a huge
You're a twat. Shot
the
the
death
the
fight.
bollocks.
baseball bats to the bollocks.
Nailed it.
So there's a lot of that kind of stuff, but it's it still has heart and it still has quality scenes and acting, and it's very
Ball busting action.
yeah. It's got the whole thing on there as well because it's 4 seasons, 10 episodes a season, 8 episodes to the last series, so it's all there, the whole thing from start to finish, like on box sets. So it's, like I say, if you're squeamish, don't go anywhere near it. But if you like if you're not offended by violence,
Never.
strong language, or scenes of a sexual nature,
I have
then
been
it's great. Yeah, that's one of the best. Very,
Damn.
very graphic in every sense.
Look, I've watched Westworld. I can handle it.
Trust me, Westworld is playtime compared to this in terms of
Oh
violence.
God, I hope not.
No, really, honestly, yeah.
Today on CBeebies, we're going to be watching Westworld.
Oh,
Basically,
shit.
yeah. Westworld was pretty violent, but they were all robots, so it didn't really matter.
Bill
They're all robots, so that didn't fucking matter. Oh, man.
But yeah, no, I loved it. I think it's brilliant. I'm halfway through season 2, and that was only a few days because it's just very compulsive viewing.
Binge, 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 binge.
Binge is the way to
Basically,
do it.
Yeah,
Binge
yeah,
is the way to do
definitely.
it. Binge is always awesome and fun.
But I'm a big O fan.
Righto.
Yeah. So that's what I've been
We've
watching.
got an audience.
Yep.
And the audience is making rustling noise. I'd have banned that in the film if I had choice. So moving on to stuff we're looking forward to. Have we got anything, guys?
Nothing.
Good.
Well, after seeing Far Cry 5 today, I'm looking forward to that. And you can
Oh.
drive tractors, so you'll be a fan.
Oh, good. I haven't seen the Far Cry 5 because I've been sort of disconnected from the internet for the last few days
Uh,
for various reasons.
Revealed today, yeah. Modern setting, Montana. A town called... Damn it, I can't remember what the town's called, but it looks pretty cool,
Banshee?
actually. No. Something like The Fall or something. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah. And it looks promising.
Cool.
Yeah.
Stuff
Awesome.
happens in it.
Yeah, shit gets
Well,
done.
I'll definitely look after that update because I'm a massive Far Cry fanboy.
Big cult religious overtones to the trailer, so it actually looks quite good. Like, once again, they've shaken things up, after Primal.
I'm
So,
hoping.
starting to get a bit stale.
I'm hoping you have a drone in it which you can fly above everything and tag everybody.
You have one that's a stuffed owl, so you'll be happy.
yeah.
Stuffed
Yeah.
owl is
Yeah,
down,
yeah. So they can drop psychedelic bombs on people
Yeah.
and swoop down and kill them.
I'm not interested unless we get a Hawaiian shirts back.
That might be a pass as a character option.
It might be. Maybe I go in shops.
Oh.
Steve Hughes.
That was fun.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the guy in Far Cry 3 had a Hawaiian shirt.
I think there was one that had one. I remember there being some kind of Hawaiian shirt linked to one of them. Definitely.
Yeah. I remember the
The student one.
I'm sure one of them's Hawaiian shirt, and the only other character I remember for that game is the Rapist Australian.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember from that game. Yeah. Oh well, good. I'll
Yeah.
put that up because I'm a great Far Cry fanboy, so I'll be looking that up. And if you can drive tractors, it's like farming simulator and Far Cry together. What more can I possibly want?
Yeah.
Particularly if I can farm things as well.
Hmm.
I can ride cheap, even better.
Yeah, I guess tractors are their version of elephants, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Or mammoths, as in Fear and Prime.
Yeah.
Cool. So moving on to other news. There's not a lot in there. I just want to mention a couple of things that just it's more of a sort of flashback / other news
Oh yeah.
that sort of popped up after. So last podcast I mentioned I tried to play Alan Wake
Oh yeah.
and didn't get on with it at all. But literally about a day after the podcast went up, I saw an email story that as of last weekend you can't buy it on Steam
No, it's
anymore.
gone. The license ran out.
All the music licenses have run out.
Mm.
And this has we've had it before with Vice City, who disappeared from Steam for a while because of music licensing issues.
All right.
But yeah, we lost Alan Wake's now gone, and as far as I'm aware, you can't buy it digitally anywhere because all the music licenses have run out. Which is funny because you'd think that as far as I'm aware, all the music in that game was written for the game. You'd think they'd have had it set up so that it's in the game. It's in the game.
Is there some licensed music now, like on TV in the background or something?
Must be something.
Maybe
like
later
that.
on, I think there was, but yeah, maybe not. But yeah.
Yeah, sad really in a way that this is where I feel. Well, I've never actually asked this question, but if I install and wait for my PC, will I ever be able to download it again on Steam?
There's that thing with PT, wasn't there? I've got that on my PS4. Apparently, people have been selling those for the way over value if you've got the PT on there. You know that
What's
Silent Hills.
PT Marathons?
That's that was genuinely terrifying. That was the trailer for Silent Hills, the Konami project that got canned because Konami went psycho.
So it's just a trailer for it.
Yeah, but people.
Surely someone's uploaded that to YouTube by now.
But you can't download it anymore or anything. So you know.
Surely someone's uploaded that to YouTube by now. So why don't you just spend hundreds of pounds on a PS4 and just watch on YouTube?
Yeah, but
It's an interactive trailer.
Well,
yeah.
that's what I was asking. It's not just a trailer; it's an actual.
But it's
interactive
called like pre-trailer or whatever. I can't remember. But it's like PT does stand for trailer. But it is a playable. That's it, playable trailer. Sorry, yeah. I thought yeah, but that's called like a playable trailer. Yeah, because it's like doesn't take very long, but it's terrifying. And yeah. Sorry, yeah, my bad.
The other bit of news I talked about, I've just forgotten, which is a good start to be in.
Yes.
Well, mine's Xbox Pass is coming out next month. The Netflix for games thing that they're promoting.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's free for 14 days.
Nope.
Yeah.
If I don't take it for 14 days, will Microsoft give me money?
I don't think so. $9.99 a month. That'll be.
Nope.
I think I probably might go for it because it lets you download games,
Nope.
not just streaming them.
Just fucking no, Microsoft, no.
No, the key words there are Microsoft, and you don't trust them with anything.
Let's put it this way. Xbox One, we bought it for a steal of a price. It got plugged in for the grand total of about a week. it hasn't seen the light of day since. And it probably never fucking will.
That's about the same thing to my Xbox 360 lasted. Well, the first one only lasted a few days before it broke. The second one I used for about a week, and then the novelty wore off, and I realised that all the games I wanted to play on it were on the PC anyway, and they were cheap on the PC, so I just bought the PC versions and got rid of it and never played the Xbox ever again.
I love my 360.
Yeah, it's
Love
what as a heater or
I did break it a few times,
maybe.
but there's such a great catalogue of games on there.
Wow.
If
Brilliant.
you like Gears of War and Halo, sure.
And Call of Duty, don't forget Call of
Yeah,
Duty.
but all the multi-format games are better on there than they were on PS3, so it had a few issues. The controller being one of them. So I always preferred. I had both, but I just used my PS3 as a Blu-ray player. Basically.
Interesting.
They played Uncharted.
Considering you went PS4 for the next gen, that was a bit of a weird choice.
Most people went that way, though, didn't they? A lot of 360s.
Well, that was
PS4,
only because of the Xbox One's always on DRM stuff.
Yeah, and a few issues with PS4 just sold a lot better than the way they made it look. People
like an actual console rather than a DVR.
Yeah, they didn't keep calling about the satellite availability and show TV shows the whole time. Yeah, they talked about games. Yeah,
it's like the last 5 minutes of the presentation. Oh yeah, it does games. So
yeah,
I'd fucking hope so.
Yeah.
I want an Xbox.
Plus, the exclusives are getting much better on PS4, especially this sort of coming year. I'm not a big Halo fan. I don't like Gears of War, so
yeah. I was never. I played Halo. I'm playing Halo on Xbox. I went with my friends. I played like the first 2 or 3 hours of it. I just never quite.
I was
never quite got
fan.
it.
I did finish it.
It was a good. It wasn't a bad game, but I just never quite got it. That everybody's going on about Halo like it was like the second coming, and I just didn't get it.
Halo didn't click for me until I played co-op. And
Yeah,
even then,
fun.
Halo is still only Marathon 4.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
same plot, pretty much.
Yeah.
At least it isn't, but it feels like it.
that's about it, really. I'm glad about Red Dead not coming out till next spring, but other than that,
Yeah. Well, please know I still can't remember the news item I was meant to be discussing. So, So that's fine. I'm just going to quick look on the BBC News site to see if I remind myself what it was.
Is there supposed to be a gaming?
why the heck would it be on the BBC News site?
Well, BBC's got a whole gaming section on the BBC News site. No,
That's a reason to get out of gaming now.
No.
Quick, leave, quit and run.
No. I don't know. I can't remember now. I can't remember that important.
No.
It can't have been that
It's only
important.
news.
Well,
Yeah, I can't remember that
Yeah.
important. Oh.
That's,
Well, any comments?
No.
Oh.
that's the end of that then.
Everyone fucked off. We've had our first viewer on what's Microsoft's streaming thing? Beam. Play some games. This is a podcast. Just saying. That and the thing that we're using to stream this thing on can barely handle streaming this thing,
Yeah.
and it's a Linux machine. So
Maybe we should just kill it all now then.
No gaming for anybody today. I'm afraid. Sorry. Yeah.
gaming is tomorrow because apparently there's a gaming convention in Norwich or something, or there'll be some stands somewhere with games or.
Yeah, that's me. A game convention knowledge is basically like a couple of PS3s plugged up to on a trestle table somewhere.
I can't imagine being E3 like. That's for sure.
My vision of a Norwich, Norwich game. You know when you go to like a church fair,
Yeah. That's what I mean.
and it's
I
like
imagine
sort of,
go over market store.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's got like
Second-hand
there's
games.
like it's like sort of like those all like felt covered boards they have. They've got someone's printing out some screenshots of the game stuck on the board and like in like sort of word art they've written like Tomb Raider 4 and stuck on the board and there's this little console there playing it.
It's probably the game store with a tent out front.
Yeah, probably is. Probably is. Little pop-up marquee.
Yeah. A little gazebo.
Yeah. It's like, come on guys, come and play the game.
It's going to be so
ridiculously
lame.
overpriced.
Yeah. So special. It costs £10 more than you normally pay for.
Yeah. You could buy this on Amazon for £10 less. Hey.
Yeah. It's just a little that. There's another laptop on the core. It's just got a link to Steam, and you just you just sign your Steam account and buy it.
Oh dear.
I'd be a nightmare on Steam. I'd have hundreds of games I'd never play. That's why I'm slightly glad I don't have
You've got
it.
to have self-control like me and Skazz.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Self-control.
I wonder how many hours of video game you'd have to get through to play all the games that you've got stored on there between the two of you. God, hundreds of hours. Probably somewhere around 1,000 hours.
Who has the most games?
You do, don't you? Yeah, I figured you would have to.
Yeah, you're something like over 400, I think.
I've got way more than that now.
On Steam.
Yeah. Have you honestly that many?
Yeah.
Sweet
I've got way more than that now.
I've got nearly 300 on Steam.
Yeah, I've got more than
that. You're ever fall into at Christmas time, and obviously you buy games at a rate of like 2 or 3 a day.
But you'll never ever get through half of them.
Yeah, but it's nice.
I never even play them. Just fucking. I'm just bored.
They're not free now, are they?
No, the top of the
sales and
stuff. This is how it happens, Middlemeister. This is what happens. You go on Steam. There's a Steam sale of Star Wars discounts. So that's interesting. There's like a Star Wars game I want to actually play, which would be quite good. Say KOTOR. You go on there, and it's like, there it is. I'll buy it. Oh look, it's a bundle deal. If I buy all the games in the bundle deal, I get even more money off. Yes, the game I want to buy is $6.99. The bundle deal's £70. But if I didn't buy the bundle, I'd be paying £140. I'll buy the bundle, and you end up with 30 games, all of which you may play one of them. Mm-hmm. That's how Steam.
You may play one of them, even though you bought the bundle for.
That's how Steam grows. And at the moment, the reason my Steam account's growing at the moment is maybe because I've got the Humble Bundle deal, monthly deal. It's like get 8 games every month.
Which I'd love to throw out there has been kind of crap the last few.
That's funny.
I think each one has been a game that I've wanted. As far as I'm concerned, each one I've
actually
played
the last one had Owlboy in it, didn't it?
I think
one of them had Owlboy. That was
every time I've played.
I'd love to play that game.
Every time I went on,
I keep getting told it's really good, so I was waiting for it to go on sale, and all of a sudden, bam! It was on Humble Bundle.
I think every month done Humble Bundle, there's been a game on it which I've been planning to get anyway.
Yeah.
And it's been on my wish list. Like, oh, that's good. I have to buy it now.
So
and it's cheaper to get on Humble Bundle.
Well, that's
it. The wish list. So like the Turing test, which is £15 on Steam, is on Humble Bundle for like £8.
That's like you just said there, like with the Humble Bundle. In Steam, I think Owlboy was something like £15 or £20 or something stupid like that. The entirety of the last Humble Bundle was less than a tenner to include Owlboy, and I was like,
yeah,
I think I'll be getting that then.
Yeah, so I know it goes to a good cause, so I don't begrudge it.
I know you're busy and stuff with kids. You got kids and all that kind of stuff, but you never have a game of the week.
Well,
but you've got 500 or so games to choose from.
This is the
you can do like 4 hours.
This is the enigma that is Skazz.
Mm-hmm.
He has hundreds of games. He's got more games than probably anybody else I know.
If you include all the cartridge dumps that we've got from stuff up in the loft
and
that
all the
we've
various
digitised,
consoles,
I've probably got several thousand games.
Really?
Just sat in this
well,
house.
haven't you got like every Mega Drive game ever released? Some CD or something?
Yeah, we've got backups and we've got large chunks of cartridges and ROM dumps of carts. We've got complete collections, not physicals, but complete digital collections at least.
I never had a Mega Drive.
A large chunk of my ROM dumps, but still, of NES, Master System, Game Boy Color, Game Gear, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, Mega Drive.
Good lord, man.
Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Pocket Color.
I don't Neo Geo.
Yeah, regular Neo Geo. Neo Geo
was
fucking amazing. What else do we have? Full PlayStation sets. Oh, shit. I'm sure I've got more.
Yeah, but what you're not taking into account of is the multiple copies you own of certain games.
Yeah.
Hyperdimension Neptunia?
Probably about... Oh, shit. Right, so 2 copies on PlayStation 3. Not including digital on that one.
So he's got 2 copies of the same game on one console.
Yeah, well, no, because it gets even worse. And then if you talk about the Rebirth series, I have the physical and digital on Vita, not physical on PC, Steam version and GOG version.
See?
You covered then.
Yeah. Doesn't I've got them on. I've got it on most stuff.
Have you played it?
Oh yeah.
I'm actually playing Neptunia for basically when we first started this podcast many years ago. for the first like 6 episodes, it's all he talked about.
Yep. Well, because there were new games coming out the whole time. The whole the Rebirth series.
Yeah, it's literally all he talked about. He was like, "Oh, I've been playing Neptunia." Yeah, that one.
And then there was an anime of it.
Yeah,
Of course there was.
For about a year, we didn't escape that game. I didn't escape anyway. And even then, it's like I walk in and it's like, oh look, it's got a pile of games here. Wonder what that? Oh no, it's Hyper Dimension Neptunia.
All of it's.
He's using. There was one point he had so many copies of them. He was using them as coasters.
Could have done. I really could have done.
Yeah. We came and you had that table in front of us, and there was like our drinks all on game cards as coasters. They're all Hyper Dimension Neptunia.
As it like it gets sometimes it gets really bad when we buy games in this house.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's really bad.
I guess we should talk about the FA Cup final tomorrow now, shall we?
Oh no!
What's that then? What's
That's the thing that's making Doctor Who 20 minutes late.
Oh, that fucking thing. Yeah.
It's that thing.
Oh right, yeah, that piece of shit. Yeah. Yeah, isn't it like it's the game where it's the one where they put the jumpers down, isn't it? And and they do have to get like touchdowns and that sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they they have to whack them with like golf clubs, and I remember correctly. Bradley Wiggins is a thing in that, isn't he?
Sorry?
Bradley Wiggins is a big thing in that, isn't he?
No, nowhere near so many drugs involved in football as there is in cycling.
Just internal corruption.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, fortunately, we're not going to talk about the footy balls.
No.
Fortunately, we have spare things to do with our lives, like play games.
Well, I have time to play. I have time to buy games. I don't have time to play.
Well, to be fair, buying a game takes a lot less time than playing it.
Yeah.
So that's right. You're ahead, really, in the grand scheme of things.
I really wish I had a room where I could have all the consoles and all the games and all that kind of stuff.
I'd be here all the time if you did that.
Yeah, that's it.
Leave.
Dude, seriously.
I'd have a bit like you after a week.
It would have been amazing. Seriously, like my entire loft, I've got 6 foot long. Have you ever seen the big black storage containers you can get on wheels from like Aldi and Homebase sold them, I think, at one point. You could just get these big ass those full of fucking games. Oh, wow. And we've got like 4 or 5 of them upstairs.
I would love a game room like that. Like
one day we will rent an office together.
Yep.
And when we rent an office, we're going to have a studio for doing the podcast, and we'll have a game area every game.
That would
be an old CRT, so the old consoles.
Yeah, we've got a couple.
Better.
We've got a couple.
Yeah.
Got to have a couple.
For me, like the SNES Mini is the best way for me to be able to do that, play that kind of stuff. So that's coming out this year, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And the NES Mini was a bit before me. Like I had Master System instead, so there's no nostalgia there, but they looked incredible.
See, here we go. No Commodore 64. I've got my Commodore 64 that I had as a kid. I've still got it upstairs in the loft with my tape drive and bags full of tapes.
Yeah, and the old screen used to make you have a fit every time it came on.
I never had the floppy drive for the Commodore.
Got a Spectrum.
Oh, that's one that I never had.
We've got a ZX81 Spectrum at home.
Well,
we got this, and someone said that. Said, "Oh, you must keep hold of that. It's going to be worth some money." I think it's worth about 30 quid.
It says here, no Amiga. Still got my Amiga upstairs. It still works.
Jaguar?
We don't have a Jaguar, actually.
That's rubbish.
You call yourself a gamer. Though, no Atari. We still have a 2600.
You should have an Atari. You need an Atari Jaguar and a copy of ET.
And I never had an MSX either. That was a bit of a letdown. Wait, or did we have an MSX?
I've got my SNES, and that's it in terms of old console. My piss yellow SNES.
Yeah, the ones that go like fucking.
Yeah.
No matter what happened, they just go.
Possible, yeah.
It's amazing.
Apparently, that's a good test for whether or not it's like a genuine product. If it's like really looks mint condition and doesn't have piss yellow effect, often collectors consider that a possible fake.
Fucking hell.
But piss yellow is like a sign of authenticity.
Is there really much of a market for fake NESs?
I don't think so anymore, but there was a time when like Super Nintendos, at the end of their life cycle even, that, you know...
People fake every fucking thing.
Yeah, I know, but seriously, there's something that you think, really, while you're wasting your time...
Mega Drive only just come out in Brazil, hasn't it? PS4 in Brazil, because of import costs, is about $6,000.
Yeah, they still make Mega Drive in Brazil.
Well, there's still people making Mega Drive games over here. That video, that guy over here is making a Mega Drive game.
That's the number one console in Brazil now.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're still making like the consoles there. So like fake versions, but with Sega's seal of approval in some capacity.
Mm-hmm. Not like the Retron 5.
No, because they don't have to import it. You see, if they make it there.
Good old Retron 5. I never actually got one of those. I was so excited to have one, and I never got one.
I thought about getting one of them.
Just go down a retro arch.
Dude, what do you think I've got right in front of me? There's Retro Arch on that laptop. There's Retro Arch on this machine here. There's Retro Arch on that Raspberry Pi. There's Retro Arch on the computer in the cupboard.
I thought you were just pointing at the wall.
The wall has Retro Arch.
Yeah.
So many of
That
those
post
games-
has got Retro Arch installed. One's on anything.
I actually installed Retro Arch on the kids' 2 PCs over there as well today.
White Windows put Retros on it.
I
Actually.
was like, there you go, fucking Retro Arch, why not?
Some of the games I play on that now, you can get on Virtual Console and things like that. That's the thing. I know, mind you, the conversions on Virtual Console are pretty awful.
Dude, they just wrap ROMs.
Yeah.
It's just a ROM and emulator package. It's just, ugh.
They don't
Do
look
some
great.
work, Nintendo.
That's why the
Oh.
mini NES was so popular, wasn't it? Because they look so much better.
Yeah, they're
They
alright.
do look pretty crisp.
That was pretty good. They
do look.
But then let's
do
be
look
fair,
nice.
a ROM and emulator looks fucking amazing. It's as clear as you're gonna get it.
But
Unless you go out and buy like a Framemeister and, you know, start modding all your consoles to output RGB and...
I hope that mini Super Nintendo is UK version, not that awful American.
Yeah, the fucking, that weird...
that was awful.
That weird boxy thing they
That
had.
really looked like a kid's toy.
Wasn't there a reason they did that in Yankeeville? I
Well, the
can't
American,
remember.
well, the
Other than they got dropped on their head a few too many times in the market department.
I think the SNES came out right after the NES, you know, so the computer game crash was a lot, you know, not distant memory, but it looked a lot more like a toy. But the American guy designed it, and he wanted it to look a certain way. His idea was he wanted it to look more sleek, but this looks terrible.
It does. And it was all purple.
Awful.
One of the control had all like solid purple
Yeah,
buttons, whereas ours had all the
terrible.
colours of the Super Famicom. Ours literally looked like a Super fucking Famicom.
The Super Nintendo over here was a great looking machine. That looked really cool. Even today, as that retro thing, it still looks really cool.
Still got my original, and we've got a modded one upstairs as well.
Yeah, I love it. I've still got about 10 games left, all in the box and stuff.
Yeah, we've got quite a few set up there.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest. One of my favourite things about the retro consoles and the gaming community is flash cartridges. So the fact that you can buy, you know, a Super Nintendo cartridge that you can put an SD card on the top of.
That's cool.
Well, because we started dumping cartridges and dumping our save files and then copying the save files onto the memory card so we could keep... Because obviously the cartridges' batteries are going to run out at some point.
Eventually,
But that's not going to happen with the data that you've got on the memory card. So we still have a dump of Pokemon Stadium 1. So I actually, because I still actually have all of my original run Pokemon from that because the Pokemon cartridges batteries ran out.
Yeah.
But we still have this backup of the Stadium cartridge.
I've still got my Super Mario one, but I lent it to someone and I haven't got it back. So annoying. that is.
Savages.
You never lend things so precious.
Yeah, I know.
Foolish Middlemeister.
I know.
See, like right here, glad that I've still got the Commodore 64 and the Amiga. I love those machines. I love them so much. I can't get rid of them. I actually spent a shit ton of money getting composite cables and different things for it so that I could run it on other stuff because the RF modulator on the Amiga was completely fucking burned. So thankfully we had another way to output video on it, and then I ended up putting in the is it a compact flash card?
Yeah.
Because you can use compact flash cards as PCI. Wait, I can't remember the
Come on,
type.
flash card, the huge ones.
Yeah, but you can flip a bit so they act as a different kind of drive.
Oh.
So which is kind of neat. Well, I can't remember the actual science behind it. The Amiga community are fucking mental when it comes to that stuff. But got archives and archives of Amiga games and software on this little card that goes inside your boot up. I actually had to pay to get a memory expansion so that I could get half the stuff to fucking load as well.
God.
Because you have to load up like Workbench or kind of a GUI to be able to get through all your software, but then that takes up some of the memory. And so then you need the extra memory to be able to run the fucking games, and that stuff's expensive.
Never played Amiga or Spectrum. Went Commodore 64, Master System, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, and all that. Sort of
See,
stuff.
I didn't have a Master System when they came out, but friends and family had one. So then I eventually went back and got all the systems that I didn't have.
Loved Wonder Boy.
So I think we had the. I'm pretty sure we had the Amiga A500.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember if we had that before or after the Mega Drive.
All right.
I think we had that because I think we got that before the Mega Drive. think. I might be misremembering it.
Here's the trick: you can always recognise the ports of Amiga games onto stuff like Mega Drive and Super Nintendo. They just had this kind of look to them.
Yeah, we didn't have many games on the Mega Drive. I think we had like 6.
I think my dad might have owned something before because we had Pong. You know, just a white.
Yeah, I had
Pong,
I
so
had a
that
couple of
might have
home
been-
systems that just literally had like Pong.
Yeah, with the little
something.
paddle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Trouble
I
is
think
though,
Commodore.
a lot of my favourite games over the years have been stolen, like over like house moves or friends would come round and they'd leave with fucking pockets full of games as they
Weren't meant to, they just took them.
fucking assholes.
I miss those days in some ways. Like Commodore
What,
64,
people
you
used to
get
steal your games?
no the Commodore 64 where you get that flashy screen. You're like, please load properly.
Yeah, that's
Please load.
it. Like you had to like fast forward the tape to that
That's
one
it.
specific point, and that turns out the key point that it was loading was like the tape's a bit chewed up.
And
And
then
you're
it
like,
would
go on, please load.
If it did load, you'd be like, yeah, and that'd be like the first victory of playing the game.
That's it.
It actually loaded.
Oh
And
god,
then cartridges came out, and it's so much easier after that.
Yeah.
good fucking times.
I miss cartridges.
Yeah, man.
You can get
Some
yourself a
really cool
Switch.
stuff.
They're sort of semi cartridges.
Well, they aren't they? These SD cards, aren't they?
Yeah, but you know they tried to call them cartridges still.
They are. Well, to be fair, an SD cards and cartridges basically
Yeah.
are very similar. They're solid state, aren't they?
That's a good move from them to make them into that. Obviously, with the portable element, makes it a lot easier. Better than the US. What were they called? USM was it? No. UMD, Universal Media Disc for the
Oh yeah,
PSP.
the PSP. Right, the PSP made
Knocked
me
it off.
fucking cry. One of my favourite games on the PSP was Legend of Heroes.
Oh right.
I can't remember what Legend of Heroes it was, because it was the one I had just literally said Legend of Heroes, but apparently it had a subtitle to it.
Oh right,
And because obviously the UMDs are literally a spinning disc in a thin plastic case, like a mini disc.
yeah, clear.
Um, But the fucking the clear plastic bit on top had been jammed and cracked into the disc, and I was like, oh no! I managed to separate it, like lever the plastic bit out. But in any of the like in a Slim, you couldn't run it. You just couldn't run it.
yeah.
So thankfully, I still had my old fat, and you just kind of just rest it in and close it. And I was like, right, there's no pressure on that at all. Please let me get like. And then that was when the modern scene came out. I was like, fucking back that up, motherfucker, because I want to play that. It's like holy crap! I think that was an import as well. Because a lot of my first games were imports for the.
Shot themselves in the foot with only one analog stick, didn't they? Remember that?
That weren't too bad. That weren't too bad.
But couldn't play proper first-person shooters or anything.
No, you couldn't. You couldn't.
It
Although I
wouldn't
did hear
work
the
well.
community started modding in second sticks later on. That was
Yeah.
pretty. That was pretty.
Yeah,
Bad.
there was one that would work over the buttons, wasn't there? Some
Yeah.
of the buttons and the way you put it would kind of semi-affect that, but yeah.
Well, someone has actually cut into the case.
Oh, actually done a
and
proper
put
one
a,
as well,
put a proper
yeah.
stick in.
Yeah, I needed it. But then Vita did it, you know.
Yeah, then again, I like the Vita as well. Just
Yeah.
it's a shame that Sony's really shit at marketing handheld.
Yeah, they
consoles.
just couldn't be bothered with it, could they? After a year or so, they kind of lost interest. So.
It was also a shame because even when the PlayStation TV came out, they were so ashamed of the Vita brand that they were like, yeah, it's not going to be a Vita TV anymore. It's a PlayStation TV.
Yeah, I think in Japan it's Vita because there's a bit
It was
more,
a Vita
over
TV
here. It's
over
just
there.
just PS TV. I've been thinking of getting one of them actually to play
If you
Persona
can,
4 or Golden again.
if you can get hold of one cheap,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
Because they are. I fucking love mine.
it's just like a little deck of cards, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Because I run mine off the phone charging batteries because you can run them off of 5-volt power, can't you?
Oh right, yeah.
So
I
I tend to just run them on portable
right.
screens and stuff.
Is
So
it
I'm
then
just-
just an HDMI into the telly, isn't it?
yeah. And someone's gonna say, but you've got a PlayStation Vita for that. It's like, yeah, I know, but I like to have things on a big screen. But I don't like to just kind of sit there going.
Yeah. I probably would have gone for a Switch if I was all about going out about and mobile gaming, but I don't really. Portable gaming isn't that big of a thing for me, so
I think you'll generally find most Switches will never leave the house.
Yeah.
No, you're probably right, but that is,
I'll be taking mine.
I'd want to if I had it though to do that, you know.
I used to take my PlayStation Vita used to leave the house a lot, and what was really weird was because I used to love Fantasy. Well, I still do love Fantasy Star Online too.
Oh yeah,
And it was
them.
a Japanese release, so Fantasy Star I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with them. Like, have you ever had that time when you play a game and you didn't like it? And then you go back to it like 6 months later, and all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, like the planets align, and you find that thing that you really love about it.
Yeah. That's what you mean.
That has happened. Yeah.
The original 4 games in the Phantasy Star series were like that for me.
Oh really?
But Phantasy Star Online, the first time I saw that, I was like fucking dribbling over. I have to get a Dreamcast just for this game. But then when Phantasy Star Online 2 came out, they very quickly made an English patch for it for the PC version. No English patch for the Vita, but fuck, I had to play it anyway.
Yeah.
So I bought I've got the Vita, I've got a 64 gig memory card, which is fucking expensive. And then, patched the ever-loving fuck out of the game in Japanese, and I used to carry it around in my back pocket, and people would say, "Hey man, you up for playing some PSO2?" And I would literally be walking through town with my phone as a hotspot,